All right, welcome to yet another live episode of Creative Coaches. My name is Dan Roeder. I'm the Chief Academic Officer of the David Z Foundation, where we transform lives through the magic of music. And I'm joined by my co-host way at the top.
Donna Guerin, I'm founder of Global Lighthouse Studios. We connect teachers and students around the world through the lens of music and the arts. We are super excited today to have our special guest, Mr. Kevin. So if you would like to go ahead and introduce yourself, that would be phenomenal.
Yeah, thank you. First of all, Dan, I just want to say, thank you for giving me this awesome opportunity to be here to speak to you guys live. So, hello, guys. My name is Kevin Szabo. I'm 22 years old. I am a brand. I'm a funnel. I'm a copywriting, as well as I'm a lifestyle coach as well. So I try to share people their ways to grow and monetize their brands on here on X. I've been doing it for about 6 months now, and yeah, it's honestly been some of the greatest. It's been a pleasure really meeting a lot of people like yourself, Dan, and really being able to help the community on social media as a whole.
Yeah, no, I agreed. And it's such a great leveler and kind of a community builder to engage with people on spaces, on X spaces. And that's where we met. That's where I met actually a great number of people. Donna, we didn't meet on spaces, but we met on Twitter back in the day. And it's just so amazing to be able to connect in different circles. And that's really what I see a lot going on now. We used to kind of be traveling around in these little niches and cohorts and everything, but there's so much crossover of where people really need to build these skills as writers, as thinkers, as communicators, as connectors. So one of the things I want to just kind of start the conversation with, Kevin, what's your backstory? Like, where did you come from, and how did you get to this point as a 22-year-old, which PS is like exactly half my age. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Wow, really?
I love these intergenerational conversations.
This is gonna sound really deep, man. I mean, my backstory, so I actually moved out of my parents' place at around the time, and life was not really the greatest. I was living with my now ex-girlfriend at the time, and I was just really, I was somewhat different. I wanted to, be different. I always felt that I wanted to take entrepreneurship in some sort of level, but the problem was I was an addict. I used to take, not nothing too crazy, but I used to smoke weed a lot. But that really started interfering with a lot of my, day-to-day life. I was high practically every single day. And that was really rough on me. And, given about 6 months after moving out, being with my now ex, 6 months later, I found out that she was seeing somebody else. So that obviously tore me apart. And that was weirdly, I say this to men all the time, particularly heartbreak is a whole other experience. It's interesting because I think men go through a very similar timeline, especially at a young age. I feel like every man is going to fall in love with a woman, and then they're eventually going to get their hearts broken. But because of that heartbreak, I was able to take that and to actually do something with my life. So about a week before I found out about this whole scandal with my ex, I was already building up my business. I was already trying to take entrepreneurship to a whole other level, thankfully. But I think because of that heartbreak, and the reason I bring this up is because I believe that's what led me towards being able to continuously, keep on giving, be able to continuously keep on growing my brand because I was just focused all the time. If I didn't have that, I don't think I would have actually been able to keep at it. I feel like I would have just dwelled. It could have gotten so much worse. And, with that happening, I stopped with all the drugs. I was losing a ton of weight. In fact, I didn't mention I actually lost 140 pounds since, so I've lost a
Wow.
lot of weight as well going into this. Um, and then, how did I discover, coaching and copywriting? So I actually started off, and I still do copywriting and ghostwriting. I've tried a lot of different things before. Actually heading over to Twitter. I tried drop shipping through TikTok and Instagram. That didn't work out. I tried giving crypto a shot. Didn't really understand it. Didn't really like it. I've tried coding. It was a little too difficult. I've even tried cybersecurity, and I've got through it maybe 2 to 3 months in, but I found out it really wasn't for me. I consider, maybe going back into it, do it as a bit of a side hustle, but right now it's just not for me. Until I met one of my good buddies, Lucas. Actually, he himself was a copywriter. Unfortunately, I haven't heard of him in a very long time now, around a year or so. But he's the one who's introduced me to copywriting and being able to turn it into a career path essentially. So, I started reading on books. I started reading, other people's newsletters, other people's copy, and that's when I really found that I had interest in doing so. And with X, I've always, wanted to be in kind of like an influencer position, but also being able to start a business. So that's why I think I landed on X, because it had a bit of both. And X nowadays, compared to Twitter a couple of years ago, X now is more of a business platform more than anything. So it was perfect for me. And then after doing that for a year, I've found massive success in just copywriting alone and freelancing. I've managed to build myself up to 6 figures. And about 4 to 5 months ago now, I've started coaching people, because, I do believe that one of the best ways that somebody can become successful and show their, character is to just be a kind and genuine person. So oftentimes, of course, I charge for my services and coaching. I try to charge as, somewhat minimum. So to the point it's still worth it for me, but to the point where I'm able to help others who really just can't get their foot in the beginning. So that's really how it all started out. I know I
My
went on a bit of a ramble
goodness.
there, but
No, that was so well spoken and just very you know, both sublime and concise. Like telling a lot of wisdom in as a young whippersnapper, you've got a lot of experience in just not meeting adversity, but in overcoming it and now developing a system that can help others. And there's so much value, I think, in what you bring to the table. You certainly, this is the largest live group we've had. 113 people are watching live,
oh,
and you
wow.
have people here from Germany, from Russia, from Turkey. Actually, it was requested that you speak in Turkish, which is amazing. So I don't know if you do that, but it's so cool to think of this global community, and that's where I know Donna and myself
Yeah.
really align. But I want to make sure that we're able to share how people can connect with you. And right here, I'm going to leave this up for the rest of the stream. If you want to connect with all of Kevin's amazing wisdom, then he's got a newsletter called The Learning Chronicle. So
awesome. I wanted to just say that, for the person that needs it translated, this is it is live on YouTube. And I believe on YouTube, you can go ahead and change the language. And so if you pop on over to YouTube and go to Global Lighthouse Studios, you can actually probably change the language, and it'll be closed captioned in your language. I hope. I don't know, but that's the hope. So I just wanted to say, and I just wanted to tell you, thank you for telling your story. That's an amazing story. I have 4 children of my own, and my oldest is 27. And so, I love that you're telling the story from a young person's perspective and just sharing your journey. I think that's really important.
absolutely. Yeah. So, this we said would be a quick show. We're already starting to get to that point where we're going to start wrapping up, but I'm so glad that, you got a chance to tell about this experience. And I'm so excited for your career. I want to see if we can leave the audience with some nuggets of wisdom and some things that you've kind of learned about how to be a successful creator, a leader, an entrepreneur. What are some best practices that can get people there that are maybe just starting out?
Yeah, thank you very much, Dan, for that question. So, I mean, the number one thing that comes to mind for me, number one, is with building, yourself up as an entrepreneur and as an authority figure, is to start building communities. Communities are super important. The word that really comes to mind is involvement. So with X, as a whole, your goal is to be involved with almost everything, almost every community. You want to be seen by a lot of people. So I myself run a community on my X account. I myself am running spaces 2 to 3 times a week, and I'm also talking in spaces every single day. And like we are right now, Dan, like we're speaking, live and in front of a couple hundred people. So it's really just being seen by a lot of people. So I just want to say this one thing too, is that unfortunately we live in a society where a lot of people have, very quick attention spans. So, the fact of the matter is that a lot of people are going to forget you very quickly. Like, when you're scrolling on Instagram, 10 reels later, are you really going to remember what you just saw? So the goal is to be continuously seen by people, and just not be forgotten. So that's definitely a big thing for me, community and involvement.
That's amazing. Yeah, and that piece of legacy, like to not be forgotten. I think that's one of those things we as humans all have in common. Whether we're almost polar opposites on everything else, we all have in common that we have precious time here together.
Yeah.
And there's going to eventually come a time where we want to be remembered. We want our lives to really have that impact around us. And somebody did ask in the chat, can the audience leave you with some wisdom? I would say maybe in addition. Yeah. So audience, go for it. We would love to hear some wisdom, because that's how I think we can all really learn from each other, is when we share ideas, even if we don't agree. Like, that's cool. Find really loving ways to disagree with people. That's like one of my life missions. So yeah, I wanted to kick it back to you, Donna, if you had any questions or reflections or resonances with what Kevin's been sharing.
Oh, I think he, did a great job today. Just again, sharing his journey and just sharing a couple of things that, to remember when you're out there trying to get yourself up and running. And I just appreciate you being here and being our guest today. And we welcome you back anytime. We always welcome our guests back because we always have so much fun. We actually should have him on the Monday show, because
I think so too.
I think you should come on the Monday show.
Ooh,
Just saying.
definitely.
Yes.
um,
But yes, I just really appreciate you being here today and talking about coaching. And
that makes me smile. Sorry, that comment makes me smile. So Kevin, props. That's one of the things that is so interesting. I have 3 different audio setups, and I kind of hopped on to the first one that was in front of me. But it's like, way to call it out. I actually really appreciate that, because I'm tend to be kind of an audiophile on Spaces, and I'm just on a headset right now, but love it.
I'm on a phone right now. I don't know what to say, man.
Maybe it's just like you just understand technology better. I love it. Well, yeah, agreed. I really do. I would love to have you back on our Monday show, which is it's more of a workshop style. It's we have people come in and give. We start with an extemporaneous game called Slideshow Roulette, where we make people give a presentation for 30 seconds with 5 slides that they've never seen before, and they don't know what the topic is. And they can be very random slides. So it's fun, but it's where we really want to, deepen that inspiration of creativity and just kind of keep connecting with each other on that creative level. So that would be great. And this is an all call as well. So if anybody would like to be a guest on this show, which is more like a spotlight, like a 15-minute-ish, heavy on the ish show, where we like to just spotlight some people in the creative community. Mondays we do that Let's Create, and then on Wednesdays we have Wednesday Watch, where we invite people to just come watch some music videos with us that David Z Foundation and Global Lighthouse Studios have created together. So let's just kind of go through closing. I almost said closing shots, closing thoughts. Freudian slip. I don't know. Yeah. But yeah. So I want to make sure, Kevin, to give you the last word. So I guess my closing thought before I pass it to Donna is that I'm just really impressed by your poise, by your professionalism, and then hearing that you're 22 years young. That's you have kind of this old soul, which is great. And I think that it's really amazing what you can give to people. So again, I'm just going to plug your newsletter. There's I'll double down on this. There's going to be a lot of great wisdom there. So Donna, over to you.
All right. Well, yes, again, thanks for being here today. Appreciate your leadership and your tidbits on being your own leader and leading your own life and your own journey and being in charge of your own journey, which I think is so important. And and I just wanted to put in a little plug to stay tuned to social media over the weekend, because we have an announcement that we're going to be announcing this weekend on the update of our school in Uganda. So stay tuned to social media to see an update on that. And then over to Kevin for some last thoughts.
Yeah, I just want to leave the audience with some final wisdom here. Understand that closed mouths do not get fed, all right? You know, it took me so long to understand this. And I want all of you to just take that plunder, right? I've been at entrepreneurship for almost 2 years, and I can confidently say, even with all the success I've had, I don't know what I'm doing, right? I just keep going at it.
I love
I'm
that.
meeting people. I've talked to millionaires before. I've talked to billionaires before through, Spaces and X. So just be willing to, be willing to open your mouth, start communicating with people, take the plunge, and start learning something new. Thanks, guys.
Love that.
Amazing. Yeah, wonderful end to the show. And we